Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living. That's right, we're living limitless lives. You see that right there? Yeah, 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 yeah. And welcome to another pop-up live, right? So this is what we do during the week. We are in another fast. That's right, another fast. And right now, I am 48 hours into this week's fast. That's right, 48 hours into this week's fast. And I'm so excited that you're joining me from whatever platform, whatever space that you're in right now. So wherever you're joining us from, just go ahead and drop that in the comments, drop that in the chat, because we'd love to welcome you and say hello. Whether you're on LinkedIn, you're on Twitch, you're on Facebook, and of course here on YouTube, we are so excited that you get to come and hang out with us, and we get to hang out with you as well. So thank you for coming through and being with us. So go ahead and drop that in. We've got folks who are joining us from Korea, from North Korea. We've got Netherlands. We've got, of course, here all in the United States. We've got somebody from London who watches. We've got folks from New York and Pennsylvania and Ohio and the Carolinas. We've got people from Georgia and Nebraska and California. We got people from Alabama and Tennessee. And just so excited that the community continues to grow as we are working on improving our health and being better in our health space. A special shout out to a couple of people, a couple of groups actually. If you've seen our content on in your church, seen it in your doctor's office, seen it in your community center, we welcome you here to this space. Special shout out to Berean, the Berean in Atlanta Berean, sorry, Atlanta Berean in Atlanta, Georgia. And then a special shout out to Riverside Chapel in Nashville, Tennessee. Glad that you guys are here. And we look forward to those of you who are going to be joining us. We got some other places that we're going to have our content coming up soon. So make sure that you join us. If you're coming to us for the first time, or if you're coming back and you are coming to the channel, somebody invited you, if you are pointing somebody to the channel, whether you're watching this on the replay, you're watching this on the live, just a couple of things that we've done on the channel. When you get there now, you will see that we've kind of streamlined that to help you to be able to jump in and get started as quickly as possible without having to do too much. We want you to be able to just come and want you to be able to plug in to what we're doing. And right now, we are in the fast, but our Limitless Living Health Action Plan, there are 7 pillars to that we walk through. And on the channel right now, if you go there, you'll see a Start Here playlist. And the Start Here playlist helps to walk you through the places or the concepts that we want you to learn. We do everything here based on 3 things, right? We educate, we empower, we encourage. We educate with the shows, with the blogs, with the podcasts that we do. And the playlist that you will find there will help to walk you through the process that we are going through. If you want to know how to get started, how to improve your metabolism, what do I need to do? What are the things that are pivotal in my understanding and pivotal in what I do, that's where you would start. Often it's not that people don't have drive, they don't have vision, they don't have a desire, is that they don't have structure. And so that Start Here playlist gives you the structure to be able to walk through. When you get there, you will also find that in the playlist description, there is a free PDF that you can download, and you can download that. It will help to walk you through the videos. It will categorize them for you, help you to understand what the videos are. It will give you some prompts to help you to get the most out of those videos. And at the end of the PDF, one of my favorite things that's at the end of that PDF is a commitment statement. It's the Limitless Living Commitment Statement. And it says that I am willing to take charge of my health. There are some statements that you're going to say I agree to. You sign that, you date it. I advise everybody to print it out. Put it in a frame, put it on the wall, put it on your computer screen, put it on your desk, put it on your mirror, somewhere where you get to see it every day, and you get to say, okay, that is what I decided I'm going to do for my health, because that is the most important thing that we do in this space. Our goal is to help you live as long as possible and to be as healthy as possible by reversing our metabolism, righting our metabolism, improving our health. Okay? All right. So also, you guys know that we've been talking about. I've got right here. I've been telling you about our. Oh, let me go back. Sorry, I forgot the playlist. So that's the Start Here playlist. The other playlist that you will see there is the this week's videos. So if you want to know what are the conversations that we're having this week, what are the topics for this week? Hey, what did he eat for the first time or the last time before he starts his fasting? Hey, what did he talk about on that fasting? Hey, what is going on? If you want to know what's been going on, you would jump into that Start Here playlist, and that will help you see what's happening right now. So if you've been gone for a while, or you're in the community and you just want to know, okay, where are we today? All of those will be in that playlist. This week's video. As a matter of fact, this video that you're watching right now is going to show up there. Now, next week is going to be a new set of videos, so you'll have to come back and watch those in a different space. But let's go ahead and off to my side right now. I've got and we said this was going to be our mascot. I don't know if it's a mascot, but it's our plant. Boom. There you go. Oh, let me do it the other way. So you get a big one. All right. So we said that we are going to be keeping track of this thing and helping it to stay alive. So there it is. Let me move it off to the side a little. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So it is alive and it is kicking. And thank you to our resident expert in plantology. Oh, and she says, "Oh no, I'll help you take care of it." And you'll see it's looking very plump. We've got some water in it. So the reason I talk about this plant, right? And you guys are like, why are you talking about the plant? We're talking about fasting. It's because the things that we do in our lives require care. They require that we are putting in the effort. It requires that we are taking care of ourselves. Now, here's a fascinating thought. There are 1,440 minutes in each day. 1,440, 1,440. And aside from sleeping, most of us give all of that away to somebody else. Whether it's the job, other people in our family, it's somebody in our community, somebody in our church, there's somebody you're taking care of, but we don't spend time taking care of ourselves like we should. And so, just like this plant requires care, we ourselves require care. And a part of limitless living says that I have to take care of me. Now, I'm going to hasten to say this is not to say to you that what you are doing is not important. It's not to say to you that when you take care of other people, you're doing the wrong thing. It's not to say to you that you should just disregard everybody and just be selfish and take care of just you. That's not the idea at all. But it does say that if I am going to be beneficial to anybody, if I'm going to be beneficial to myself, if I'm going to stay around as long as possible and be as healthy as possible, I've got to take care of me as well. And when you commit to the Limitless Living program, when you commit to doing the things that you know you should do, when you commit to the health action plan, you're saying that I am personally taking charge of my health because my health is important. And the goal for our health is to make sure we can be alive. Let's just say the word, be alive as long as possible and to be as healthy as possible. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and see some of our community members out there. So let's get back and we're going to say hello. Let's come back over here for a minute. And let's see. There we go. And so I see, let's see, where do we go? Okay. So I see Steve's out there. And let me go ahead and pop that up. And let's see, Steve, what did you say? Start from the top. Okay, so Pamela is saying hello. Hey Pam, how are you? And then Steve is saying hello. What's up, Steve? And then Steve is saying Gunter Mountain. So Steve is saying where he's joining us from. Thank you for putting that in there, Gunter Mountain. And then we've got Cornelia, and you guys see me looking back and forth because I'm putting it up on the screen on my phone, and then I've got She says, "Hi, Dr. Wood, Pam, Steve, and LLG. Congrats on completing your first 48 hours, Steve." Yes, 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 yes. Steve talked about that in our show last night. I'm so excited about that. And then Steve says, "Thank you, Cornelia. I'm experimenting with some cooking this morning." Oh, Steve, man, if you told me you were experimenting, I'd have been over there. Right? So I'm coming. We're get over the Gunta Mountain. All right, and then let's see. Thanks, Cornelia, and then of course Pamela saying hi, Cornelia, and Pam says hi, Steve. And then Steve saying hello, Pamela. Boom. There we go. And then Cornelia says, "You're welcome. That's cool. What are you trying?" Yeah, because that's Cornelia. We need to find out from Steve what's going on, right? Was he cooking up over there? And so he said, "I use my dehydrator to slow cook steak. I got sardines in with the steak, trying to add some crunch to them." Okay, awesome, awesome. And then Bowie, what's up, Bowie? Bowie, say hi. What's going on, everybody? Hey, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. Awesome, awesome. So yes, so we're in the fast. So if you're fasting this week, go ahead and drop a yes in the comments. Go ahead and drop a yes in the comments that I am fasting. I'm fasting this week. Whatever kind of fast you're doing right now. In fact, I was working on a project last night into this morning, and one of the major concepts that I was dealing with at the time was that there are different fasting schedules. As you know, we here our recommendation is everybody be able to fast or work their way up to be fasting at least a 24-hour period once a week. Here on the show, we have several of our community members, including me, that are actually doing 72-hour fast. And one of the points I was making in the project I was doing was that when we're fasting, it is important that we listen to our body. It's important that we play our own game, if you will, so that we are listening to see and hear what the body's telling us. Because there are times where we may have to break the fast. I think back to, when was that now? Probably April of this year, and I was explaining to you guys that I was out setting up some tents because we were getting ready to take some of our kids from church camping, and I was out in the field, and out there I wasn't doing a good job of hydrating, and I bent down to put a steak in, and when I got up, everything kind of went dark, and so it took me a minute to kind of get myself and realize that I had not been hydrating. I was out in the sun the whole time. And so I came out and I went and sat down, drank water. And in that instance, I would have, right? And at the time I didn't, I've broken the fast because my body was saying, right, if I didn't realize what was going on, yeah, I probably would have gotten something to eat. And that's okay, because we want to make sure that we are, above all, we want to make sure that we are safe. So if you're listening to your body, then the body will help you to know when you need to make a change. All right, so back to my point that I was making earlier. 1,440 minutes in a day, most of that goes away to somebody else. We give it away to somebody else. But if we are going to be successful in what we're doing, if we're going to be successful in maintaining good health, if we're going to be successful in staying around as long as possible and being as healthy as possible, then we have to take time for ourselves. That's actually one of the beautiful things about fasting, because fasting allows us, if we do it right, when we do it correctly, fasting allows us to come aside and to look inward and begin talking about with ourselves, within ourselves, about ourselves, understanding ourselves. It is a time for rest and restoration. Remember, that's one of the pillars. We talk about fasting as one of the pillars, but there are 7 pillars: rest and restoration. One of the most profound part of the plan. It says that I require, notice what I said. It says that I require time for rest and for recovery. And we're not just talking about sleeping. We're talking about just sometimes time where you're not in the hustle and bustle. Time where you just go in the bathroom and close the door and say, "Nobody, don't bother me for the next 5 minutes." I have one of our patients who we've talked to about this idea, and she has done an amazing job of implementing this in her life. And when I see her now, the calm that she has, the peace that is on her face, because she's taking time on a daily basis to connect with herself. And if you're going to be successful, if you're going to be around long term, if you're going to be around and be healthy long term, we've got to incorporate some time for rest and restoration. And that is the beauty of fasting as well. Because when I'm fasting, the peace and the calm that comes over me, that I now am making connections and I'm realizing things about myself, y'all. Yeah, as old as I am, yeah, I'm finding out some things that, yeah, is like, well, man, ooh, yeah. But that's the beauty of limitless living, because it says I'm no longer afraid of what's out there. I'm no longer afraid of what's in here in terms of it stopping me. Because I'm not letting anything prevent me from doing anything from outside or anything from inside. I am showing up with my best self, my best health. I'm showing up with my best plans for my life. Yeah, beautiful. But we've got to listen. We've got to hear. We've got to pay attention to what's going on in our bodies. All right, so let's see. Let's go back. I see some. So Bowie says, let's see. Let's go back up for a minute. Steve says, I hope it turns out good. Okay. Okay, so sardines. Let's see, what does Steve say about sardine? Blah, 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 go back up, go back up. Oh, okay, Steve, I hope. Okay, yeah, sardines are loaded with good stuff. That's what Steve says. And then Cornelia says, he says, okay, I hope it turns out good for you. Hi, Bowie. And Bowie says, I love sardines. So I love sardines. I got a bunch of cans of sardines and tomato sauce. All right, yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, growing up, we did a lot of sardines actually. One of my dad's favorite things that he made was sardines. And I don't cook it a lot now, but it's still the memories are there. So hi Bowie. Bowie says hi Pam. Hi Cornelia. Hi Steve. Um, Cornelia says I love sardines and steak. Cornelia, you got some good stuff. You're gonna come visit you as well. And then Steve says, absolutely. I'm waiting for my doctor appointment next Tuesday to see if I'm safe to fast longer than the one night. You need to check blood sugar. All right, I love it. Also, I said that was Bowie that says that. Um, and then Steve says, Doc, I love my new Libre 3. Okay, awesome. Yeah, the new Libre 3, the app, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I mean, I liked it before, but it really does add add some things to it. And as you guys know, I wear both. I've got a Libre on one side. I've got the Dexcom G7 on the other side. Libre 3 Plus on one side, Dexcom G7 on the other. And they provide me with great, lots of information. All right. So we are talking about playing our own game, playing our own game. And so why do we fast? Why do we fast? We fast because it is a way to reset our body. It's a way to get our bodies ready to accept all the things that we are going to be putting in place. It is a way to essentially gut the building that is our body and get it ready, taking out all the trash, breaking out the rotten floorboards, taking out those old cabinets, throwing out the old carpet, all the stuff that we do. What we're doing is we're resetting the body and we're getting it primed and ready for what we're about to do. Okay. And so Part of the Limitless Living Health Action Plan has to do with fasting. And so walking is an important one. It is the first pillar that we talked about, but right on its heels was fasting. Because walking gets you the consistency, fasting begins getting you that reset. We started the year off with the 100-day walk to consistency in health to get you into the process of moving and getting you a specific time and specific way and specific occasion where you're doing something specifically for yourself. That 1,440 minutes that's in a day, some of that is yours. And the walking was with the intention of taking you and getting you ready to do that, getting you in the process, getting you rote, right? It becomes muscle memory now. It's just what we do. It's just who we are. And then now let's come back and let's reset. Let's gut the body, gut the building, get all the junk out, and say, okay, we're ready. And then right on the heels of that, right, was balanced bites. You remember? So now that we've got the consistency, now that we've gotten the reset, now let's fuel this body with the right source of energy. Let's fuel it right. See how they all tie together? And then, right on the heels of that came strength training. And strength training says that based on what I do, based on the muscles that I have, based on the behavior that I'm doing, I'm out there, I'm toning, right? If you guys have not seen me yet, go watch one of our videos, right? Do a little modeling for you, right? Yeah. I'm not a model, official model, but hey, I'm proud. I'm proud of what I'm seeing. And so I did that little model for you. And so it says that I can use the muscles that I have as an amazing tool for my metabolism. Because remember, activated muscles that are exercising, muscles that are metabolically active, they don't require insulin to suck sugar up. And so when those GLUT transporters go to the surface and there's sugar running around in your blood, it sucks it in. And because it sucks it in, I don't require as much insulin. Either my body doesn't have to produce that much, or I don't have to give myself that much, or I don't have to take medication that causes my body to produce that much. That's called insulin sensitivity. So I am automatically improving my insulin sensitivity. And on the heels of that, right? So we're consistent now. We've reset the body. We're fueling the body. We're adding like a supercharging process to it, the muscles. Then now, let's get some what? Let's get some rest and recovery, so that we are now saying, "Hey, I've been at this thing. Life is going on. I've got all this stuff around me, all these responsibilities, but I also need to take a time. I need to take time for myself." Rest and restoration, rest and recovery. We got to rest. Do you know it's while we sleep that a lot of our hormones get regulated? For guys, when we sleep, that's when testosterone is at its best in terms of regulation and production. It's when we sleep that our brain takes all the stuff that we've learned, or the stuff we've seen for the day, and it begins to assimilate it. It begins to make connections with it. It's while we sleep that our body rejuvenates. All of those things are happening. And when we are not doing that, we're actually short circuiting the process of being healthy. And then mental mindset, right? Mental mastery. The way we see the world, the way we see the world has a huge impact on how we behave and a huge impact on how successful we can be as we go through this process. The lenses through which we see fasting, the lenses through which we see our health, the lenses through which we see the emotional things that are going on around us. That's why we did the domains of health first, because we have to understand what lens we are viewing the world through and what areas of our lives need us to pay more attention to it. So mental mastery is more than just okay. I now understand that thing over there, or I understand how my body works, or I now understand that A1C. No, mental mastery means that I am making decisions now based on the information I have. I'm making decisions based on my history because now I've been walking and I've been just doing strength training and I've been fasting and I've been eating balanced bites for over 200 plus years, 200 plus days now. I say over 200 plus because we're in day number 111 of our strength strategy and mindset, and then we did 109 days of our 100-day walk to consistency, right? Yeah, 220 days. That's consistent. And that is now 220 days, 200 pieces of evidence, 200 points of support that says I am now taking charge of my health. When your brain says to you, you know what? You never stop, you never finish anything. You always start, but you never make it through. You can say, look, yeah, that may have been in the past, but look at me right now, 220 days. When that process comes up that says, "Ooh, I can't do that," you say, "No, no, 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 220 days." You have 220 days of support, of evidence now. Because remember, self-efficacy says that based on evidence, not based on a whim, based on a dream, not based on a ethereal vision, based on data, based on evidence, I believe that I have the ability, based on my activities, based on my decisions, based on my behavior, based on my consistency, I have the ability to chart the destiny of my health. Amazing, amazing. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's go back up here. So Steve. Uh, so boy, hi Steve. I love sardines. So we talked about that. Absolutely. Steve said he loves his that. And so let's see who's asking this. A boy, was it boy? Is there a way for insurance to get a continuous glucose meter? They're so expensive. Is there a way for insurance to get a yes? And so yes, so you've got to talk with your insurance company, but they do have it. The least expensive one that I am aware of actually comes from Walmart, by the way. So I have no affiliation with them. But that's the least expensive one that we've found. There may be some other companies that give you discounts, some pharmacies, but it's consistently the least expensive one that we know. And the strips also are are reasonable compared to others. So good question there. Let's see. So Steve says I'm on Medicare and they pay for it and the sensors. We are changing insurance companies in January. Don't know if they will pay. And so I'm assuming you were talking about just regular glucose monitors. So that's what I was answering. Back to your question, Bowie, that the least expensive finger stick glucose monitor that I'm aware of is at Walmart. The continuous glucose monitors, it depends on your insurance, and if the insurance doesn't cover it, it's typically about $75 um, for the for the ones that are designed for diabetics. There are a couple on the market. The one that you guys have seen me use is the Stello, and the Stello is about $80 on their website with a discount. Don't quote me on that. The last time I checked, it was about that. So it was $100, and then they gave you a discount. You got it for $80. Okay. Um, and then Bowie says, okay, we just ask our doctors to prescribe it like medications. Okay, yeah. I never gotten a glucose monitor before, so I'm not sure about the process. Yeah, so we typically prescribe that to someone who's diabetic or someone who's having hypoglycemic episodes. I've actually even started prescribing it for people who want to monitor their metabolism. Right now, we get some pushback from the insurance companies, but hey, it is what it is because this is such an important thing that we want to make sure that everybody's as able as much as possible to check their blood sugars, because you want to see not just what food, right? Because we think of glucose monitors just like what is the if I'm diabetic, I want to see what my blood sugar is. Well, if you're not diabetic and you're trying to figure out how a particular food affects you, that's important as well. I can't tell you the number of people that have said to me, "Hey, I always thought that when I felt this particular way, it was based on this other thing." And now they're checking and they're like, "Well, I used to think it was my sugar, but my sugar is good when I'm feeling that way. It must be something else." So they're now discovering things. They're discovering what it's like to sleep well and have good numbers. They're discovering what happens to blood sugars when they stay up late. Right? So monitoring is very important. Data is very important for what we do. And then Steve says, let's see. Says yes, ask your. Okay, I think we did that one already. So he says yes, ask your doctor. Yeah. So for the monitors, you want to ask your doctor. And if your insurance doesn't cover it, like I said, there are some over the counter ones that are out there. The Stella being one of the big ones. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're walking through the health action plan, and so rest and restoration, and then right to cap it all off, to put it all together, and to help us maintain consistency and maintain longevity. There is structure and planning. Oh, come on, come on. It is not a willpower issue. It is not that you don't have motivation. It is usually that we don't have structure and we haven't planned. Oh yeah, you've got drive, you've got determination, you've even got know-how. You've got a motivation because you heard something and it sparked you, or some event happened and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, but it is the structure and the planning that usually causes us to not continue that over the long haul. And so what we want to do is we want to not just say we're doing this for today, but this is now who we are. We're installing this into ourselves as the default operating system. This is how we work. This is how we roll. This is how we are now. And that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So once again, if you're fasting with us, go ahead and drop yes in the comments, because we'd love to give you a shout out. Wherever you're joining us from, whatever platform, whatever country, whatever state, whatever community around the world, whatever organization that you're in, we are so glad that you've come to join us. Get back to the website, to the YouTube channel. Like I said, start here is the playlist you want to walk through that teaches you and helps you walk down the path that we've been on. Also, the this week's videos will let you know what we're doing this week, what the conversations are. This video will show up in that list as well. On the website, you can download the PDF that is a primer, if you will. It's the Start Here PDF. I guess I should call it that. That will help to walk you through some of those videos and allow you to get that commitment statement where you're saying to yourself that I am committed, I am willing to do what I need to do to be successful when it comes to my health. Because my health, our health, your health, my health, is not about that number. It is about how do we keep you around for your family, keep you around for the things you want to do, to be able to walk your daughter down the aisle and give her away, to be able to take your son and your grandchildren, and you be able to wrestle and romp with them, for you to be able to pass on to the next generation the things that you have learned over the course of this life, for you to be there for community, for connection. Do you know what that's like to say, I'm going to be there and that I'm there? I mean, incredible. That's what we're working on. How do we keep you alive as long as possible? And how do we keep you as healthy as possible? And in order to do that, we've got to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to be successful. And the limitless living health action plan, right? Just like we're taking care of our plant, right? We have to take care of ourselves. So on the website, dwainwoodemd.com, you can get there, download the PDF, watch the videos. There's a welcome from me, and right down below, if you're tired of being on this hamster wheel, if you're tired of trying this and trying that and not sticking, get down there right below those buttons. You'll see the accelerator program to join us to be on this path so that you can be successful. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. Glad that I get a chance to hang out with you. Join us. If you're in the community, we've got our community hangout tonight at 7 o'clock be on the lookout for that link. Tonight we are supposed to have our show at 9 o'clock, and I'm trying to change my schedule so that we can do that live. If not, then you'll have a pre-recorded video there. But we're trying to do it live, right? Because I love when I get to interact with you guys. But come on out and support that. Tomorrow for our fasting, it will be a recorded video, but come out anyway and hang out with us. And then on Saturday, we've got video from the vault. Sunday morning at 6 a.m. This Week in Review, and 6 a.m. Central. Make sure you join us. And then next Monday, y'all, we'll be right back here, Dwain Woode MD Live, as we continue play your own game as we live limitless lives. So this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. All right, everybody. Take care. See you.